Hello, my name is Rob Young. I'm the Senior Director of Products here at Percona. Today I'm going to talk to you about the MySQL options for OpenStack and what you need to know. This is important because many people do not realize that when you use OpenStack, that MySQL is the default database behind the scenes, managing metadata, and for client databases for things like Trove or for applications that are developed within OpenStack, MySQL community is the default database as a service there. So the things I'm going to talk about today on our agenda, MySQL, what it is, how it has evolved in the ecosystem around MySQL. We're going to talk about the options for OpenStack that are built on top of MySQL, and then I'll finish up with a quick summary and a way that you can contact me directly if you've got any questions. So first, before I get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Rackspace, Cisco, and HP. Without these guys, I wouldn't be standing here doing this presentation, so thank you. A big shout out to those guys for this event. What is MySQL? Well, MySQL is the most popular open source database on the planet. It was first released in 1995 by MySQL AB. It is owned by Oracle at this point, but it is still under the GPL. It has been known for its performance, reliability, and ease of use, and it has been adopted as the M in the LAMP stack. So if you're familiar with free and open source software, if you've developed web applications, LAMP is the stack that you probably use. Commodity hardware, commodity software, and then your choice of Perl, PHP, or Python to develop against MySQL. And it became the most popular open source database because of those things. And if you look out there at most of the online web properties in use today, the most popular ones are built on MySQL or derivative works. And this has allowed it to not only evolve for those applications, but also to be predominant in cloud database as a service as well. So if you look at OpenStack today, I mentioned earlier that MySQL is the default database for the host database and also for client databases or guest databases on below that. So necessity is the mother of invention, said Plato. And this is true for MySQL as well. If you look at the ecosystem around MySQL, MySQL is a database, but if you look at what has sprung up, much like is happening with OpenStack today, there are people and innovators that have developed tools and products and services around this elegant database solution, not only for to make it functional, but to make it perform better, to make it scale better, and to add high availability and redundancy to it as well. So if you look at some of the derivative works out there around MySQL, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about around these options, they improve upstream MySQL. So the source code is being improved upon on a daily basis to make it better, and the focus now is cloud and OpenStack and other options available in the cloud. And where others are starting to find their footprint within that environment, the new economy, if you will, for MySQL is around expertise and services. So if you look at the options, there are really three out there and kind of a fourth one, but I'll talk about that in just a second. Oracle's MySQL is what I call the upstream MySQL. It's the MySQL community server. It's open source. It's GPL. Oracle didn't kill it. It's actually gotten better since Oracle has purchased it. It's transactional by default, which means it's operational. If you look at some of the competitors out there in the NoSQL space, they're very good at doing what they do for performance and scale, but they're non-transactional. MySQL, you can build any e-commerce site on it today, and it'll be transactional and ACID compliant. It's scalable now through very simple asynchronous master-slave replication. There's no built-in HA at all, and it's supported commercially by Oracle via this thing called MySQL Enterprise Edition. If you look at how we add HA to MySQL, that's done through a product called GERA. And here at OpenStack, the conference this week, I've heard people talking about GERA, but they have left MySQL out of the conversation almost entirely. Just know anytime you hear GERA and clustering, it is built with MySQL. And those two things cannot, or MySQL can operate without GERA. GERA cannot operate without MySQL. So with GERA, you can roll your own cluster. It's free and open source. It's compatible with upstream MySQL, meaning you can take MySQL off the shelf, use the GERA library, and add HA to your clusters, to your MySQL deployment. It's focused primarily on clustering technologies, not on MySQL. Codership is a company behind GERA. They do not provide support for GERA. That is provided via partners, one of them being my company, Percona. MariaDB is another option, and with MariaDB, they build on top of MySQL Community. They add GERA components to their distribution for high availability. MariaDB is what we call a fork of MySQL. So basically, they took a snapshot of MySQL 5.1, which was produced back in 2006, and they backport patches. So MySQL 5.5 and 5.6 have come out since 5.1. MariaDB actually builds on top of the 5.1 code base with those patches, and they build out their product. What they've done by forking the product, one is they have kind of diverged away from compatibility with upstream MySQL. It also means that they have a harder time reconciling and merging changes that have come out of different contributions around the MySQL product. So their gestation process for merging innovation, so to speak, is a little bit longer than upstream. They did release a beta quality of their high availability solution in April of this year, and this product also includes some of the MySQL Enterprise extensions around thread pooling, around auditing, and around external authentication. Support is provided by SkySQL, a separate company than MariaDB, and they support primarily SkySQL and MariaDB. The third option that you would have out there around MySQL is Percona, and this is the company I work for. And again, here we add to the current version of MySQL with high availability, performance enhancement, scalability. The difference between what we do and what MariaDB has done is we actually extend the current version of MySQL with patches that we provide. So instead of forking at 5.1, we are current to MySQL 5.6. We're working on 5.7 right now, and we add our our open source extensions to that product so that we remain current. Our merge process is very easy and quick. Maintenance releases come out within 30 days. And we released a production version, or Percona released a production version of our HA clustering option back in 2012. So we also include the MySQL Enterprise Edition extensions around thread pooling, auditing, external authentication, and Percona support and services not only include Percona Server, but also MySQL Community and any derivative work that you're working on. So the new web scale SQL product that was announced by Google and Facebook and Twitter and some others, we support that if you want to use it. So what about the source code? You know, we're talking about 3 different products, and how do things make it into the upstream MySQL bloodstream? It's pretty simple. You know, it's a GPL product, and if you look all the way to the left of this little circular diagram that I have here, Oracle's MySQL Community Edition is what I call the upstream version of MySQL. It is the source of truth out there because, you know, the owner kind of maintains the library and develops that. If you go around the horn there, at about the 2 o'clock position here is Percona. And Percona, if you look at the main contributions that were in 5.5 and 5.6 for concurrency, performance, scalability, many of those contributions came from the likes of Percona and Facebook and Twitter and others. And then MariaDB also takes from the upstream, takes from Percona, and contributes as well. So this is more of a circular diagram than a streaming diagram. But I think you understand that you know, contributions can come from anywhere within the MySQL community, make it into the upstream product. The important takeaway from this slide is that all of these options use better than 90% of the same source code. So if you look at the different options, there is about 10% difference, and a lot of that has to do with performance, scalability, concurrency. So just real quick summary. You know, what did I talk about today? MySQL is the default database for cloud and for OpenStack. So again, if you're wondering where the metadata about, you know, your OpenStack deployments are, you know, what the database is generated for guest databases right now, MySQL Community Edition is that database solution. The main MySQL options are Oracle's MySQL Community, the MySQL Community plus the GERA extensions to add high availability, MariaDB, and Percona. All share about 90% of the same GPL code from the upstream product, And the upstream product is really an aggregation of all the contributions that come in from the MySQL community, not only from my company, not only from MariaDB, but from just users in general. And that's a huge community, by the way. So that's it for the options. I would like to let you guys know that Percona is here this week. We're in booth E30 in the exhibition hall. We've got more brown bag talks throughout this week. There are 3 more tomorrow about some of the products and services that we provide, but they are very technical in nature, very informative. And then finally, if you want to learn more, you can go out to percona.com. If you've got any specific questions about anything I've talked about today, my name is Rob Young. Here's my contact information. Feel free to contact me directly. Thanks for listening. Have a great conference.